Hey, welcome back to my channel. For those that are new here, my name is Kayla. So it's been a little bit since I actually posted my last video. I've been running around like crazy trying to hurry up and finish everything before this little boy enters the world. I am currently 36 weeks along, so he should be coming any week now, and I'm super excited and I cannot wait to meet him. So in today's video, I have some super cute DIYs that I created from Dollar Tree items, and I created these all for my upcoming baby shower this weekend, and I'm super excited to share them with y'all. And with all that said, let's go ahead and jump into that video. So for our first DIY, we're going to make a super cute belly band and matching pin. These are the items that you're going to need for this DIY. Some floral, some ribbon, hot glue, and as well as a measuring tape. So right here, I started to measure off my chest, which is your rib cage, so I know exactly how much ribbon I need to add on to my waistline. Now, depending on how long you want it, if you want it to be shorter, just add an extra 2 feet to it, but if you like it to be longer, I suggest adding 4 feet extra onto the measurements of your rib cage. Now this is what it looks like if you only want it to be shorter. This was only 2 feet that I added onto my rib cage, but I wanted it to be a lot longer, so I added some extra ribbon onto it. Next, you're going to grab the ribbon once you have your measurements that you would like, and you're going to fold the ribbon in half, making sure that each end is evenly placed together. You're going to take the folded part and make a crease in the middle. This is going to mark exactly where the middle of this belt will be. So we'll use that as a guideline. Now you're going to grab your floral and greenery. I use the Delilah's and this spider plant. It looks perfect with the whole safari theme. Now you're going to rip off all the flower heads off of the stems, and as well as you're going to rip off all of the little green flowers on the greenery and cut off all of the grass tips. Now I had to use some scissors to cut the grass off. Then I went ahead and cut off all these little nubs at the bottom of the flowers, so I can have a nice smooth surface to glue the flowers down. Next, you're going to get some hot glue and put a good amount on the back of the flower and place it right at the center where the crease is. Now, to make sure the flower is nice and flat on the belt, I went ahead and glued down some of the flower petals as well. I then grabbed some of the green floral and cut off the nubs as well, and then I hot glued them down onto the belt right next to the golden flower. Now I repeated the same exact step and placed the other green flower on the other side of the golden flower. Now I wanted to add some more flowers to this belt. I did not have any white flowers on hand, so I used some coffee filters and I just squeezed them together and fluffed them out and kept doing the same thing until it created almost like a flower-like look. And then I hot glued them down onto the belt next to the greenery flowers. Now I continue to fluff them and mess with them until I like the actual shape of the coffee filter flowers. Now I added some of the green grass to the maternity belt, and I messed with the positioning of it. Once I liked where I wanted it to go, I started to add some hot glue to it and place it underneath the golden flower. Now I repeated the same process on the other side, and I used my scissors to help put down the grass so I would not burn my finger with the hot glue. Now we're going to create a little sign that goes in the middle of the flower. You're going to need some white paper and some glitter paper. You can also pick up some glitter paper from Dollar Tree, some scissors, and a ruler as well. Now these are just some items I'm showing you to give you an idea of what you can use as a template to draw out your circle. Now each of these items are about 1.5 inches long, so if you don't have anything circular like this, you can use your ruler to measure it out. So right here, I use this little black thing to make my circles for the little signs that are going to go on the flowers. Then you're going to go ahead and cut out all of your circles. Then you're going to grab some green glitter paper. Now this green glitter paper is going to be the border that's going to go around the actual white paper. So you're going to go ahead and trace it a little bit wider than the actual white circle. Then you're going to go ahead and cut out the circle as well. Now I use this same exact circle as a template to create the other 2 circles. Once you have all your circles, you're going to go ahead and get some hot glue to glue down the white circle on top of the green glitter paper. Now make sure you try to center it as best as you can. Once you're done, and if you notice any of the circles are a little lopsided or uneven, you can go ahead and cut off some of the excess paper and try to get it as even as you can. Now don't worry if it does not look super perfect or anything, because nobody will notice if some of the circles are a little lopsided. They're just going to be an odd how cute of a belt that you created, and pins as well. Next, you're going to need a pencil and a green pen or marker, and I use the pencil to write off everything first, so if I made any boo-boos or errors, I can go ahead and erase it and fix it before I make it permanent. As you can see, I already had a little error here, so that's why it's always good to start off with a pencil first and then go over it with a marker or a pen. Once I had everything written out with the pencil, I went over it with the green pen, and I just went slowly and traced over everything that I wrote previously with the pencil. And I repeated this with the other 2 circles as well. Once you created all your little circular signs, you can go ahead and hot glue that down right at the center of the flower, making sure you don't bend any of the petals on the flowers. Next, you're going to need some of this confetti. I got this off of Amazon. Look at how cute of all these little glitter safari animals. Now I picked out which animals I would like to place onto the belt, and I used some hot glue to glue them down. Now I did put them in the area that I felt looked the nicest, but you can go ahead and play with it and place them wherever you love. Now we're going to start creating the little matching pens. Now you're going to do the same thing and hot glue down the little sign in the middle of the flower and fluff out any of the petals if they get caught underneath. Look at that, so cute. Now you're going to grab the green ribbon and you're going to go ahead and use a rule to measure out exactly how much you're going to need per pin. Now I measured about 8 inches per pin, and then I marked that off with a pen or pencil so I know exactly where to cut. Got my scissors and cut off the ribbon. Now to make sure I made an even ribbon for the other pin, I just lined them up and cut off the ribbon. Now I did make a little error here, so if it's a little uneven, you can just cut off the little excess ribbon like I did here. Now I placed the flowers on there to see what it would look like, and I decided to cut my daughter's a little bit shorter since she is a toddler. Now I cut off about 2 inches, so instead of it being 8 inches, it's about 6 inches now. Once you're happy with the length of the ribbon, you're going to go ahead and turn the flowers over and add some hot glue to the ribbon and place it on the back of the flower. Now I wanted to create a little design at the bottom of each of these pins, and I used the edge of the ruler to get a perfect little triangle and make it even amongst the 2 pins. This was the easiest way to create that little triangle piece at the end of the ribbon. Now I grabbed some of the green grass and added it to the pins as well. Now I messed with it until I liked the positioning of the grass, and once I liked where I wanted it to go, I secured it with some hot glue. I then grabbed some of the green flowers and hot glued them down onto each of the pins as well, right below the golden flower. Now I allowed my daughter to pick out which little animals she would like to include on her pin so she can feel like she was a part of this project. Now I first placed them in the area that I would like them to go, and then once I liked the positioning of each of these little animals, I went ahead and hot glued them down so they can be nice and secure. Now everything that I'm using in this video, I will be linking it down below in the description box in case you are interested. Then you're going to need some of these bar pins. I got these from Walmart. You're going to hot glue them to the back of each of your pins so you can go ahead and pin it on your shirt. This is our next little DIY. Diaper Pong is a game that you can play at your baby shower. So you're going to need a science board, some diapers. I'm using size 1 here, some paper along with some scissors and pencil, and some hot glue and some golden poster paper. Now I used my computer to create the title for the Diaper Pong game, and I used a safari font so it can match with the theme of the game, and I cut the letters out and I placed them on the board to see exactly where I would like it to go and kind of get an idea of what the board would look like. And I also placed down some of the diapers and messed with the placement of them and all that. Before I started gluing everything down, I wanted to get a little bit of a background and some accent onto the board. So I used this golden poster paper and I marked off how big I needed it. And I placed the golden paper on either side of the board where the board folds inward to kind of add a nice little pop of color. I then got my scissors and cut out what I just measured. Now I found these templates online. They were free. I will be linking them down below in the description box in case you're interested. Now these are safari themed type of leaves and they worked perfectly for this project. And I cut them out and then I got some different colors of green paper and traced each of these leaves onto them. Once I traced each leaf out, I went ahead and cut them out with scissors. And to get double the amount of these leaves, I placed several pieces of paper together so I can get multiple leaves out of it instead of tracing it one by one. Now I use different colors per leaf shape to kind of add a variety of color, and I love how they turned out. Now I wanted to make the leaves look a little bit 3D, so I went ahead and slightly folded some of them to give it that 3D look to it. Now I only did it to these and these palm leaves. Now I just slightly gave it a nice little roll in the center of the leaf, and already you can see it taking shape by just folding it slightly. I then created the rules to match my baby shower invitations. I created it on my computer and I printed it out so I can place that on the board and everybody at the party will know how to play the game. Now here I went ahead and placed everything down on the board exactly where I would like it to go so I can get an idea of the placement before I glued anything down. And I just played with it until I liked where I wanted all the leaves and all of the decor pieces to go onto this board. Once I liked where everything was going to go, I went ahead and took off everything off the board, working from one side to the other, making sure I remembered exactly where I placed each of the leaves and all of the decor pieces onto this board, and I hot glued everything down back where I had it previously. Now I used a combination of regular glue and hot glue. Now I used the regular glue to glue down these animals that I drew out on some regular paper and hot glued the diapers and all the leaves down so they can be nice and secure. Now you're going to go ahead and fasten the diapers onto each other, and I used some hot glue to make sure the diaper was nice and secure and it would not come apart. And you're going to repeat this on the other side and do this to every single diaper on your board. Now I use the spray can to make a perfect circle. These are going to be the backgrounds for all of the points that you're going to be placing onto the diaper, so everybody knows exactly how much points they have occurred when they throw the ball into the diaper. Now I'm folding up the paper right here, and the reason why I'm doing that so I can get multiple circles out of one trace so I don't have to trace the circle a bunch of times, and then I cut it out with my scissors. Now you're going to need some of these foil numbers that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and I use different color circles to put as the background for the point system, just to kind of get a variety of color. Now, once you do that, you can go ahead and punch out all the numbers that you're going to need to put on the diapers. Now, unfortunately, I did not have enough of these numbers to use on the whole entire board, but I just wanted to show you what it would look like if you had enough numbers to use. Now, because I used this on a previous project, so I went ahead and just used the numbers that I needed for the point system that I'm going to be using for this game, and I use them as a template, and I trace them out and then cut them out. Now, right here, I'm going ahead and folding the paper again. Now, this is the trick I've been using throughout the whole entire video, so I can get multiples of the same shape. And here, I wanted to make sure I had 2 10s. And so I folded it and then cut it out. And there you go. You'll have 2 of each shape. Now, once I had all the numbers cut out, I went ahead and placed them on these circles and then hot glued them down and made sure that everything was nice and even before I glued them down. I then got some hot glue and hot glued down each of these circle point systems on each of the diapers. Now you're going to need some clear plastic cups, and you're going to place them into each of the diapers so they can be nice and open. This makes it a lot easier for people when they throw the ping pong balls into the diapers. Now you know you can create something super cute and really nice for your next baby shower, or a baby shower that you're throwing for a friend or a loved one. Now I know all of these little items that I created in today's video have a safari theme to it, but it's so easy for you just to change them to fit the colors and theme of the baby shower that you're throwing for a friend or a loved one. So if you really enjoyed today's video, please give it a big old thumbs up. And if it really inspires you as well, give it a thumbs up too. So with all that said, y'all have a wonderful day. Until next time, bye. No. Cute. Okay. So that's been on.